Okay, so that is multi-takes. There's another feature here where you can record only a certain spot. This is called the auto punch. If you press this button, you get this red thing, and what that does is only this region or this area will be recorded. Doesn't matter where else. Even if you press record, it's not going to record anything else. So let me show you how this works. Okay, notice that it only recorded this spot. That's really useful for if, for example, if you have a certain section where you want the vocalist to come in or whatnot. What I've done in the past is I've recorded things and I've had to go back, and clip off the beginning parts and the end parts of it because that's not where she needed to come in, but she was talking or there was noises, so I had to do that editing afterwards. If you have this feature, you don't have to do any of that editing. You just put it exactly where you want the recording to be, and if there's any maybe there's a little minor editing, but it really cuts down on the stuff on the ends that you don't have to worry about. And if you go to preferences, global, and go to editing, click on this one. Normally it's on I believe it's a shortcut menu. Click this and put it to assignable to a tool. What that will do is, right now we have two functions with our mouse. We can use it in two different ways, the left click and the command click. If you click this, you'll have three different ways, so you can include the right click. So it's assignable to a tool, and now we have a third option for the right click, and you can assign that to whatever you want. Right now it's on the scissors tool. So if I right click right here, it just cuts it real quick. So that's just another option that you have. If you take a look here, make sure you turn this thing off so you can record wherever you want now. There are things called groups, and groups, all they do is they just allow you to group things together so that you can perform the same functions across multiple tracks. So all you got to do is click on this, assign it, for example, group 1. I can just call it apples. Right now automation is already clicked, so that means all the automation that you click in, like volume, will happen in all the other tracks that are assigned to this group. I'll also click region selection. Okay. And then go to this one, and I'll assign this one apples also, and this one assign apples. So now, if I go here, since I did region selection, it moves, when I move this one, no. When I move this group, it moves this one also, but if I cut this, it also cuts the one through all the groups that are in this, all the tracks that are in this group. Now if I change the automation, all the automation is affected within all the tracks in the same group. So depending on the project that you're working on, it could be drums, it could just be some kind of similar track that uses the same automation or whatnot. This can speed up the process a whole lot. Okay, now we're going to talk about some effects. Now I kind of showed you this in a previous tutorial. Showed you the difference between effects and non-effects. I just want to do it really quick one more time. Okay, this is it with effects. And this is it without effects. So it can make a pretty big difference in the sound. So let's just go and pick a basic instrument with a piano, and then we'll just go through some of the most important effects. Alright, okay, the first one we have are some amps. These are for basic guitar. We'll go over that second. So let's go over delay first. Let's go to the simple one, echo. Okay. So here you have how fast it's gonna do the echo. Right here you have how long it's gonna be echoing. Here you have the harmonics of the echoes. It kind of shapes the harmonics. Dry and wetness, this is a very important concept. Dryness is how much of the actual instrument that you initially play. Wetness is just the effect. Like I guess in this case it's a volume factor. So as this goes up, the effect turns up in volume. And when I turn it down, it goes to nothing, so you don't hear the effect. The dryness, let's turn up the wetness and turn down the dryness. So when I press down the note, you don't hear the actual first note that I pressed down. You only hear the effect when it's at 0. So that's what the dry and wetness is. Those are very important concepts. So you have an echo here. You have a few different other types of delay. This is a delay for the right and left channels. That's what that does. Sometimes you'll use that for making some effects to make your sound be more wide. So it kind of separates the left and right aspects of the sound. Here you have tape delay. This works, you can work it to the tempo. Here you have dryness and wetness again. You have the rate that you can use with an LFO, and you have the feedback. You also have a filter. Now notice that this filter is for the effect, not the initial note. So it's affecting the notes that delay afterwards. Stereo delay is actually similar to the tape delay. It's just more involved with the left and right. So it's divided in the left and the right side. It has all the features of feedback and some filter here. And then the delay designer is a pretty useful tool. All these delay hits, this shows you what the hits are. This is the volume that's going on right now, and you can change the volume. You can move these things in time to be different, and you can also put in your own extra hits. You can also mute these with this button, and you can change the pan. Right here, as you can see, the pan is going back and forth. You can change the transposition, and you can change the cutoff and the resolution. Here is your dryness and your wetness knobs, and you can also click in you can click your own beats in time. Just click on this thing. So you can create your own delays and tweak them however you want. So it's a really cool tool. A lot of modern music uses delays all the time. Okay, let's pick just pick a real quick a guitar so we can look at the amps. Okay, so this is a basic guitar. Just pick the guitar amp. This amp has some really great features. You can control the effects. You have some tremolo here, you have some reverb, you have some EQ. You can change and pick the type of amp, the type of EQ, the type of speaker. You can make it the microphone off-center or centered, and you can make it a condenser or a dynamic mic. Now, some really great sounds here. You just have to go through and tweak it a little bit. You can also, like I said, you can hook in your own guitar into this. So you would first get an audio track, not a MIDI track. Make sure that it's record enabled, and then just put in this plugin, put in this effect, and then the effects will be applied to your plain electric guitar. And then you also have a bass amp for that. Same, works under the same concept. You can hook in your own bass and have a bass being applied. Distortion is a big one for guitars, and there's a few options here. So just take a look. If you need distortion with your guitars, this is where it is. So that's another great option. The next thing is the compressor. A compressor is one of the three most common and I would say important types of effects. The three basically are compression, EQ, and reverb. Those are probably the most common ones.